Good morning, y'all, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us. So today's video is all about the unfun side of full-time RV living, or as I like to call it, the adulting. All the things you have to do so that you can live full-time in the road in an RV. Now, when we first started this lifestyle, we sold our house and everything we own and jumped right into it. And there was a lot of things we were not prepared for. And today, we're gonna talk about all those things. Now, these things aren't much different than when you live in a house, but because you live in an RV and you travel most of the time, the timeline for which they happen has to change. So we have a home base here in Texas, and we come home at least once a year, if not twice. And most of the time it's around Christmas or holidays to visit family. Well, there's also another reason we come home, because we have to take care of all the adult things. And when I say adult things, I mean things like vehicle inspections, vehicle registrations, vehicle insurance, all of our doctor appointments, dentist appointments, optometry appointments, everything that needs to be taken care of, including Buddy's vet. We have to pack that in to 1 month time. So it ends up becoming the most hectic and the most expensive month of the year for us. But we have to do it that way because we spend most of our time on the road away from home. So we schedule everything at one time, take care of all of our responsibilities so that we can travel freely without responsibility the rest of the year. Now, on top of the adulting stuff, once we take care of all that, there comes the next few things that you have to do in order to travel without stress. And that becomes the planning stage, as well as the maintenance stage and the budgeting stage. So today, we're gonna talk about all those things, all the adult stuff that you have to do in order to live full-time on the road. Now, if you guys have a better way of doing things than I talk about today, let me know in the comments down below. We're still working on our procedure and policies, or the way we do things, because we're only in our second year, and the first year worked out okay, but I've been refining it every time we have to do this because it's a lot of things to do in order to enjoy life on the road. Now, it's 1 month of work for 11 months of freedom. So it's really not that bad. But you guys let me know how you do things and get ready to live full-time on the road in an RV. So it's my turn now to go see the doctor, and we're here at the eye doctor. And that's because I wear contacts, and they will only give you 1 year at a time. So I have to make sure that I schedule an appointment every year so that I can renew my prescription and get more contacts for traveling on the road. But anyway, I'm gonna go inside and get my eyes checked, and I'm gonna talk to you guys when I get out because I know they're gonna dilate my eyes. And I actually wanna see how funny it looks on camera, me trying to talk to you guys when I can't even see you. So the eye exam went great. I didn't have to get dilated, so nothing new here. I can actually see you guys. But the eye doctor is a University of Houston alumni. So all we did was talk about U of H football and the old U of H campus. So anyway, we got our contacts taken care of. Now we're gonna head back to the house. So I just got off the phone and we have scheduled Alicia's dentist appointment as well as Buddy's vet visit. And since I didn't get dilated today, I can do things. So now we're gonna get this truck and the camper inspected, because in the state of Texas, they have to have an inspection done before we can register them. So we're gonna go pick the camper up, get them inspected, and then we're gonna head up to the courthouse and get both of them registered. We just got the truck and the trailer inspected, and now we're back at the RV park dropping the trailer off. In the state of Texas, you had to have a safety inspection on both before you can register them. Now, it's pretty simple. You just take both of them up to the inspection station, and they will do a safety inspection of the truck and the trailer, and then they give you a piece of paper. And now you have two choices for registering them. Now, you can go home, you can go online and pay for it online, and it comes in the mail in 2 to 3 weeks. Or, like today, we're gonna take our inspection sheet to the local tax office, and we will actually pay for them today and get our stickers for our truck and our trailer so I can get that checkbox done. So right now, we're gonna head up to the local tax office and take care of registering the truck and the trailer. We're at the local tax office, and let's hope for an enjoyable experience. Actually, I don't think you ever go to the tax office and say it was an enjoyable experience. Let's hope for a quick experience. Let's go get this done. All right, so it was enjoyable and it was quick. The ladies in there are super awesome. So now we're gonna head back to the RV, we're gonna put the sticker on the RV and the truck and make them both legal. All right, the trailer and the truck are now legal for at least 1 more year. Now the next thing we're gonna take care of today is not that fun at all. We have to renew the insurance on this trailer and that truck. Now we go through Geico because they offer full-time use insurance on this RV, and that's what we need because we live in it full-time. But we've already seen the preview of the bill, and it's gone up 35%. They're calling it the Texas squeeze. So it's one of those things that they're going up across the board on everybody, and it's affecting the people that didn't even have claims. So I don't know what you guys are using for insurance, but we might be needing to shop around pretty soon. But we need coverage that covers us for full-time use of this camper. Not every insurance does that. So you guys let me know in the comments, what are you using for full-time insurance in your RV, and about what is the cost? Right now, 35% is a huge jump because it was pretty affordable before, but now it's starting to get to the point where it's time to start shopping. Anyway, we're gonna go pay that bill, and I think that might be about it for the day. But tomorrow we have more doctor appointments. Actually, we have doctor appointments on tomorrow and the next day, and then Buddy has his vet appointment. We're at Alicia's doctor's office because it's her turn to go see people.
Yep, last visit for this time at least.
So anyway, we went to see the doctor today, that guy over there.
Yep.
For the last checkup after having the baby.
Right.
But normally, what would happen this time of year?
Well, when we're home for our little extended time, we would be doing our well woman checks and all that. So any annual type appointments that need to get done is when I would schedule those for when we're home.
And also, tomorrow is a big day for you too. Where are we going tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow's not fun. I'm going to a place I don't like to go. We have a dentist appointment tomorrow for me, and let's just say Mama likes the snacks when she's pregnant or nursing babies, and I've done 3 recently. So I'm probably going to require tomorrow's appointment for the x-rays, and then we'll have a follow-up appointment, I'm sure, to deal with all the snack eating I've done.
And another thing, we haven't mentioned it yet, but we already took care of the girls, but what happens to the girls?
So they usually have their yearly visits because they're 2 and 4 now.
They're close enough that you can move things around. Yeah,
with their birthdays being only a month apart, we try to schedule their appointments together so that we only have to go to that doctor one time. So we go and we get their well visits done for the child visits when we're home as well. So it gets a little hectic, but it's easier just to combine their appointment and get them over with, and then we don't have to do it again for 1 year.
Yeah, and the reason y'all didn't see this in the video is because of that man right there. So when we came home, we didn't have that baby, and we went to their old doctor and got them done together for the last time before we transferred all the records. Well, not that guy. Yeah. It's the other guy. But the new pediatrician down here in town.
Yeah, so we were using their pediatrician back where we used to live at the lake, which was a 3-hour drive for us each way. But since they are now on yearly visits, because Kayla turned 2, so she doesn't have to go again until she's 3, we decided to just move all the pediatricians here once we figured out who Caden's pediatrician was going to be. So now it's going to be super easy because we can do everybody at once here in Lufkin, and it's only a 15-minute drive.
Also you messed up. You made that one over there not be in the same time frame as the other 2.
I surely did. We have 2 winter babies and a full-on summer baby, so we'll deal with that when the time comes. But for now, I mean, we come home 2 times a year usually anyway, so we'll do one at Christmas time, and then maybe
We're
one...
never coming back here again in the summer. We are never doing it.
He can't handle the Texas heat. You take him out for 1 or 2 summers, and now he's dying.
No, it's just that our truck moves. There's no reason to sweat all the time.
See, I have the advantage because when I was pregnant, it felt like it was 120 all the time. Now it just feels like it's 100 degrees. So I'm like, I can handle this. Also, I'm not outside in it. I'm inside with baby. So I get the best of both worlds.
So, see you guys tomorrow when we go to the dentist.
No fun.
So, are you ready for this?
I'm not. Not one bit of me wants to walk in this door. I feel like a kid who was supposed to clean their room like a long time ago and never got around to it. And now there's like moldy dishes and things are bad.
So just so I know, the reason we're outside is because she tried to sneak off and walk inside without talking to y'all, and I made her come back to the truck.
Probably when you see me again, I'm gonna have drool running down my face because I'm gonna be so numb. But
what if it's not even a big deal?
I'll be super shocked.
All right, we're gonna go inside and we'll see y'all when she's done.
Look, my mouth isn't numb.
So, good news, bad news. Good news, nothing wrong with her mouth.
No cavities.
Bad news, Alicia has a bad habit.
I do. I have a TMJ habit. I clench my jaws and grind them at night, and have for the past probably 15 years, which I already knew.
It was super funny. You said, well, I've been pregnant for 5. He goes, This has been way longer than 5 years that you've had this problem.
Yeah, so I have to get a lovely night guard to sleep with, but that's okay. If it's gonna help my pain, then I'm all for it.
When we walked in, you were like, I'm getting all new teeth.
I thought they were gonna pull them all or give me fillings in all of them.
Turns out you just have to wear a retainer.
Yep, and quit clenching my jaw.
Also told you to lay off the sugar.
Lay off the sugar because it can cause some problems, which we already knew. So that's why we tried to brush.
So this was like 25% the cost of what I thought it was going to be. So
yeah.
it's a win.
So now we're going shopping. We got money to spend. No, I'm just kidding. But at least we don't have to go through. Hey, and if you haven't been to the dentist, let me just tell you this. I haven't been in a really long time because they kind of terrify me. Things have changed. Like, nothing is painful. They don't use the gagging stuff, or at least here they don't. The x-ray wasn't painful like I had remembered in the past, and I had built it in my head that this was just going to be a super awful experience, and it was actually really great. So maybe because they didn't have to do any work on me. I hope I'm not telling you false lies.
It's super. Like, I had a root canal last year.
Right.
And the same guy did it, and literally,
yeah,
there was nothing painful about it.
I feel like dentistry has changed in the past decade. So
it probably has.
You should probably go so you don't end up like me.
Hey, buddy. Hey, look at me. You don't want to look at me? He knows. He knows we're going to see the VET. So he won't even look at me. He's acting like he's all cool. But he knows. We don't get in the truck and just go for a ride for fun. Look. Hey, buddy. Hey, come here. All right, it's not gonna be a big deal. They're just gonna check you out, make sure you're all good, get you some more medicines for the year so you don't get sick. Are you ready to go see the vet? Not really. Anyway, we're gonna take Buddy to the vet and get his annual checkup and get his prescriptions for the next year. And then we should be good to go on all of our doctor and adulting responsibilities. Did you enjoy your vet visit? He actually did. He got his annual checkup. He's good to go. He even got his nails trimmed. He's a little nervous because he doesn't like the vet. He also doesn't like car rides right now because he knows we just went to the vet and he probably thinks we're going somewhere not fun next. Don't worry, we're going back home and you can sleep the rest of the day and get over your rough morning. All right, so we're done with the adulting. All the things that no one really likes to do, but you have to. So we've seen doctors, we've seen the vet, we've done our taxes, we've done our registration, we've done our insurance, all the things that you would normally do if you had a house. That doesn't change with an RV. You still have to take care of all those things. The only thing that changes is the timeline it happens in. So in a house, you may do it over an entire year. In an RV, if you're smart and if you want to travel full time, you condense it into one time a year when you come back home to your home base and you take care of all your responsibilities. Now, another thing that has to happen whenever you come home from your home base and take a break from the road is the big maintenance on this thing. Now, when you travel, you do preventive maintenance. You do the easy stuff, the flushing and dumping of tanks, the washing, things like that. But you don't want to be doing big maintenance when you're on the road. So we save the big items for when we're taking a break and we can do it and not, you know, bother people's vacations. Well, I'm in an RV park right now, as you can see, but this is not a vacation place. All these people are here for work or they store their campers here. No one's here because of vacation. And that's why we choose to stay here, because we can do some of our work here and it's not gonna bother anybody. Like right now, it's the weekend and there's just very few cars here. So we usually don't do maintenance on the weekends, but Monday through Friday, this place is empty. I'm here by myself. So you're gonna see some videos where I showed you all the things we did inside. Like you may have seen I had modified the rear Happy Jack system for our new beds. You saw me do peel and stick tile. You saw me do a tour of the entire camper. Well, that was also because we needed to clean it out and purge last year's stuff, as well as add in new things. And you're gonna see me do some maintenance before we hit the road again. You're gonna see my generator get the maintenance because it's due on hours for oil change, spark plugs, all that good stuff. You're gonna see me pull my tires off and re-inspect my bearings. Now, I just packed them about 6,000 miles ago, but we're about to hit the road again and I wanna make sure everything's good before we do, so I don't have to deal with that when we're on the road. I'm gonna do a thorough greasing, and I got a few other projects I'm gonna do and some things on the inside Alicia's been adding to the list that you will see in a video before we hit the road. Now, we do all these big things right now because when we're traveling full time, you don't want to do big stuff. You want to enjoy the adventure. So we condense it into a small period, just like our adult stuff. You take care of all the things you want to do, and what gets done, and what doesn't, it can wait till the next time you come home. Now, the next part is actually the fun part. So all the adulting's over, all the maintenance, all that kind of stuff is done. Next part's fun. So the next part is planning your next adventure. Now, for this part of the conversation, I'm gonna get Alicia, she can help me explain to you guys how we plan. And after we get done telling you about how we plan, we're gonna talk about how much things cost, because a lot of you guys have asked, what does it cost to live full-time on the road? Now, we know that's different for everybody else, but we're gonna tell you our 2 years and how different they were and the difference in cost. So anyway, I'm gonna grab Alicia and we'll explain to you how we plan our adventures and our total cost and our budgeting. So it's time to talk about the fun stuff, and I have Alicia now.
Hi.
So we've done all the adulting of all the taxes, the insurance, the doctor visits. I even talked about all the maintenance stuff. Some of that is actually kind of fun because it's upgrades.
Yeah.
And now the fun part of RV living, planning the adventures. So
this is the most exciting part.
it is, because we have ideas.
Yes.
Right? Everybody wants to go do stuff, and this is where you get to decide what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
Now, the first time we started RVing, we were very, what's it called? Spur of the moment? Yes, we thought when you get an RV, you're supposed to just wing it. And that worked until summertime showed up. So we used to call to the place we wanted to go, and then we'd be like, oh, 2 weeks, that's cool. Within 2 days of leaving, I'd be like, where do you want to go next? And
we would
decide
call that place.
And we would just call around until we got a spot.
Yeah.
And then that worked out. Until June showed up last year, and we were in Arizona. And we had nowhere to go, because apparently everyone travels in the summertime, and we didn't think about that. So then that day when I finally found a place to park the camper, we went ahead and planned the rest of the trip out until we got back home for Christmas time. Now, people have asked, how do you go about planning? Well, it's an evolving process.
Right. I mean, we've seen how some other RVers do it, and they get super technical with their apps and their memberships and all that. And I don't think we're those kind of people, but we aren't spur of the moment type people anymore. We definitely know where we're going, we know where we're gonna stay, and we know how long we're gonna be at each place before we leave our home base.
Yes. So part of that is because the size of our camper.
Yes.
You don't just show up somewhere with that camper and expect them to have a spot for you, and or expect them to have a spot for you to turn around and leave if they don't have one.
Right. And like you said, when we were in Arizona and we had 2 days left of our reservation and we could not find a place to go, it was a little terrifying to me. Like, what are we gonna do? So I like to know the plan and kind of stick to the plan if we can. So now we actually do use apps and several things to make these plans. It's actually pretty easy. So for example, we're leaving soon. In 2 weeks we're leaving. Yep. For you guys, this will be a month old, but in 2 weeks we're leaving. We're leaving because baby boy is getting his 2-month checkup, and we know our next time we will need to be somewhere is for Thanksgiving. So we have roughly 3.5 months of free time. Well, that's our first thing. How long do you have? Yep. So we're gonna have 3.5 months. Right. And we said we wanted to go somewhere we haven't been, and my thing was it's gonna be somewhere not hot. Yeah, we wanted new states to add to our map, so we knew we didn't want to repeat any states, or not many states at least, and we wanted to see as many as we could that made sense. But also, side note, Thanksgiving's in Missouri. Yes. So that's where our destination, that's where our ending point is. Yeah, so we're in Texas now, and we're gonna end up in Missouri by Thanksgiving. But so we don't like to just go to a place and stay for like a day or two. We like to really give the place a lot of time. So we're not just trying to go somewhere for 2 or 3 days. So that was the other part of it. How many states do we want to see, and how long are we gonna stay at each place? So we know we have 3.5 months to make reservations. And we know we're starting in Tennessee. We've been there before, but we didn't get the sticker because we didn't stay there. But Tennessee is awesome. So we know we're going to Tennessee. Yep. And so what we do is we start making a list of all the things that we want to see in Tennessee. Right. So like we have a list of Nashville things, a list of Pigeon Forge things, and I've already made the plans. We're going to Tennessee. But we decided that Nashville only needs 7 days, but Pigeon Forge needs, I think, 12 days we gave it? Yeah, because we want to see the Smoky Mountains. We know there's going to be a lot for the kids to do there, so we're going to give that a little extra time. Yeah, so that's how we decided where we're going to stay. So we know once we get to Nashville, we're having 7 days. And then once we get to Pigeon Forge, we have 12 days. Well, the next part is find the place to stay. So we actually use 2 apps. We use RV Parky,
and we use Good Sam, and we only use those to read reviews, to see the amenities, and to see the average cost.
Right.
And then once I go through and weed, it's easy to find the ones you don't want to stay at. But once I go through and find out the ones that we do stay at, we got to figure out what is the purpose of the RV park. If we're there to see the Great Smoky Mountains, we may not need the RV park to be great.
Yeah.
But if we're actually there to have fun at the RV park, because we schedule downtime.
Right.
Every week cannot be a YouTube adventure. You will drive yourself crazy trying to YouTube every day.
Especially him, because he's got to do editing. So he needs some downtime. The kids need downtime. I need downtime, and he's got to get other work done. So we have to keep that in mind. We can't just adventure 24/7, although it may seem like that at some time.
Well, only because y'all see the fun.
Right. Y'all don't see the work.
So
necessarily.
whenever we have adventure mode, we'll schedule a place that sets up for the adventure.
Right.
When we have a relaxing, we need to catch up on things,
yep,
we schedule a park for that.
So like in Tennessee, when we go see the Smoky Mountains, we don't want to stay 2 hours away from the Smoky Mountains because we know we're going to want to go there and adventure out. So we're going to try and find a RV park that's nearby so that we don't have a big drive that day, so we can utilize our time in the best way.
Yeah, so what ends up happening is I give her a list of like 4 or 5 in the area, and she tells me which ones would be like her first, second, and third choice.
Yep.
And then this is the non-fun part. You have to call and you hope they answer. And if they answer, you can take care of it. You can actually go through this whole process really quickly.
Yeah.
So that's how it works. We choose our big ticket destinations.
Yep.
We find a place close by that we're not driving, more than about 30, 40, 50 miles. And then we start making reservations. Well, we know when we get done with Tennessee, we know we want to see Kentucky, but we don't know if that's next. We know we want to see West Virginia. We also have Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois in the pattern, but we don't know what to do in any of those states. We know what to do in Kentucky. Kentucky seems like it's going to be a very easy state to find adventures.
Yeah.
But we're still planning right now.
Yep.
We have no idea what we're going to do in West Virginia.
Yep.
No clue what we're doing in Ohio.
Yeah, we know that we're not going to northern Ohio.
Yes, we're saving
Indiana.
that. We're saving the Great Lakes for that.
The Great Lakes will be a different trip. So we're going to stay kind of on the lower southern border. But
so when we go through Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois, we're going to be on our way back to Missouri.
Can we just pause and address the Illinois that he... Kevin says, just for all of y'all who know, and maybe y'all agree with him, but I don't. He says Illinois with an S.
It's got an S. They wouldn't put it there if they weren't using it.
So I told him it's Illinois. The S is silent. So now I get Illinois because he's making it silent. He thinks it's cute.
Y'all tell us, how do you say that state? I think it's Illinois.
Nope. I already Googled it. Google said that's the #1 misspelled state, or mispronounced state.
So anyway.
Yeah, back on track.
We know we're going to Tennessee, and we know we're going to Kentucky. We don't know what order it'll be in.
Right.
We need you guys to tell us, what do we do in West Virginia? What do we do in Kentucky? What do we do in Ohio? What do we do in Indiana? And what do we do in Illinois? Also, tell us about Tennessee. We think Tennessee's, y'all might see another 7-day blog in Tennessee series. Because it looks awesome.
Yeah, I think we will. If we're filling up to it, I think you'll get a weekly series out of there.
Also, y'all may see another weekly series when we get to Louisville, Kentucky.
Yep. Hey, another point I wanted to say is sometimes we say, okay, we might stay in this place 7 to 10 days, because when we call the RV place, we might have 10 days in mind, but they might say, oh, we can only get you for 7. So just leave a little room for flexibility in your planning.
7 is the first price break you get.
Yes. So if you can stay a week, stay a week, because you usually get 1 night free by doing that. If you can stay 2 weeks, you usually get another price week. And of course, if you stay the month, 2 weeks it got to be a little long for us. We really like a 10-day stay, but sometimes 7 days is
It's
fine
more expensive
too.
to stay 10 days and just stay 14.
Yeah.
But 14 days started to feel like we were growing roots, and we were spending too much time.
Yeah, and like this time we only have 3.5 months, so we really don't want to give a place 2 weeks unless it really dictates that it needs it.
Because that would be 10 spots?
Yeah.
You can stay at 10 spots.
Yeah, so our list is a little bit longer than that, but please give us some ideas on what you do when you plan your travels, and also Are there any memberships that we don't know about? Do y'all?
We have Good Sam, but
Yeah, we have
if
Good
you stay a
Sam.
week, it doesn't benefit you because they give you the 7th day free.
Right. We have never tried Harvest Host, and we've never tried.
We probably won't do Thousand Trails.
Yeah, Thousand Trails or the Boondockers Welcome. I'm not really a boondocker type yet. Maybe I'll get there one day. But if you have any other ones that you think we should try out, let us know.
So I forgot to say about the planning part. The planning part is my favorite part because, well, it's one really long day or two of logistic nightmares.
Right.
But once it's done, I don't think about it again. I have a thing in my phone. It tells me, hey, next week you're going here. The week after that you're going here. All I gotta do is put this thing in drive and go.
Right.
Also, it usually means we're about to be on the road again when I'm at this point.
Right.
So like
exciting.
I know it's time to go.
Yeah.
Now the next thing is something you guys have been asking about. People always ask, what does it cost to full-time RV?
Yeah. And by planning it out, we know
at least what our stays are going to cost.
Right, we know what our budget is for stays. There's no surprises. We're not going to get hit with a $200 charge one night. So
no, yeah. So we know how much we're going to spend for like when I get done planning the trip through Thanksgiving.
Right.
I will know basically through December 1st how much money we're going to spend on our RV parks.
Yep.
And because we don't stay a month, there's never going to be electricity charges.
Right.
So that's it. Like, and most time you get a discount if you prepay. So they're going to be paid for.
Yeah.
So that money's done spent.
Yep.
So a lot of people have asked, what does it cost to RV?
Yeah.
Well, that's a very loaded question with a lot of variables.
Right.
But we can shine some light.
Yep.
We've had two very distinct type of years.
Yes, we
Our
have.
first year out, we went out west and we were super adventuresome, but we were very frugal.
Right.
We tried our best to stay at the cheapest parks.
Yep.
Make our own food. We got the America's Beautiful Pass, and we didn't splurge a lot on adventures.
Right, and we stayed at places a very long time to get those long-term discounts.
Like we were staying 2 and 3 weeks, sometimes a month. We stayed a few times.
Yeah, but we might have to drive 2 hours to the adventure.
Also, side note, diesel was real cheap.
Oh yeah, nothing like what we're experiencing now.
Exactly. I think even out west of Montana, we thought it was expensive to pay like $2.
Yeah.
Now it's probably way worse. But anyway, so our first year out was 12. Well, we'll say we went out west over a 12-month period, and we're gonna break this down. We don't want to do super detailed. This is an overview because yours will be different.
Kevin's got a notebook down here.
Super top secret.
Yes, very top secret.
Anyway, we're not gonna talk about the stuff that everybody has.
Right. So
health insurance, truck and RV insurance, cell phones, internet,
pet visits.
Yeah, doctor visits.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen whether you have an RV or not.
Exactly.
That does not change. This is just RV specific cost.
Right.
So when we went out west, our RV parks, we averaged $977 a month.
Yep.
Which seems like a lot, but we cost us $32 a night.
That's
super cheap. If you're an RVer, that is super. If you can get in the 30s or even below 30s, you're doing good.
That was very affordable.
Now groceries, we spent $812 a month for a daily cost of $26. We did really good about not eating out a lot. And down here we have eating out. We only spent $176 a month eating out. So because we bought groceries so much, we didn't eat out a lot.
Right.
And that'll make more sense here in a minute when I tell you about our second trip.
Part of adventures.
So diesel that year, we spent $633 a month.
Yep.
Also remember, about $2 a gallon then. Maintenance for the whole year was $397 a month.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Right.
I mean, I don't think we did anything major. We had a few things.
No, yeah.
Our adventures, which is anything we had to pay to do something. $283 a month is all we spent to go to adventuring. That means anything we had to pay for us and the girls to go inside and do something.
Yeah,
we took advantage of the America the Beautiful Pass.
Yeah, we saw so many national parks.
We saw 50 something national parks that year. 56 or 54.
Yeah, between national parks, national monuments, all that good stuff.
After Park 3, it paid for itself.
Yes.
It's $80.
Yep.
And then propane for the whole year, we spent $61 a month. Well, that's pretty cheap.
Right, that wasn't much at all.
Now, the very different type of travel is just recently when we were pregnant and decided to go on a baby moon, as you would call it.
Yep.
So we went to Florida and we decided to, basically it's vacation. So it's the exact opposite of what we did the first year.
Right.
Well, in Florida, it cost us $1,247 a month for RV parks. So it is way more expensive.
Yeah, $12.47 to $9.77
Yes.
when we were out west.
And that's because we chose to stay at places close to where we wanted to have fun.
And we were more short term.
Yes, and we were only staying 7 to 10 days max. Most times it was 7 days.
Yeah.
That averages out to $41 a month. So it's
Or a night.
Yeah, a night. Yes. So it's clearly more expensive if you don't do your homework on the RV parks, or if you want to stay close to what you're doing. Now, keep in mind, we'll go out into diesel real quick. Since we stayed closer, we didn't use as much diesel.
Exactly.
But the diesel is actually more expensive now because in Florida we were paying $4 and $5 a gallon.
Right.
So it would be half price if the diesel prices would have stayed the same. It's all relative.
Yes.
Because we were not driving. I mean, the furthest we drove in Florida, the whole last year out, maybe 30 miles.
Right.
To go do something. Whereas in Utah, we drove 200 miles one way to see Capitol Reef.
Exactly.
But the whole drive was the adventure as well.
Right. It was beautiful. So
Groceries. Groceries is another thing that messed us up because we were vacationing. We only spent $684 a month in groceries. So we saved money. But wait, we gave it away by eating out. So we were eating out $353 a month in Florida. So we basically swapped. The groceries went down by half and the eating out doubled. So the food kind of stayed the same.
Yep.
We just gave it to somebody else and probably got way less food for our money.
Right. My virgin pina coladas cost a lot. That's what I was craving.
Now here's the thing
pregnancy.
it's gonna have an asterisk on it. So our maintenance. Our maintenance for this year is only $106 a month, so it's much cheaper.
Right.
But if you add the real number, it's actually $1,177 a month because we had to put a new roof on and we're averaging the cost to show the average.
Okay.
But just so you know, we put a roof on, but that's a one-time expense. I just want to let you know, it makes the math look funny, but I've done the math to where it shows what the true cost would be, and that makes sense when we get to the end when I tell you the difference between the two trips.
Okay.
All right, so propane in Florida was only $38 a month. That's because we only had propane, I think, in February.
Yeah.
And that's it. So the first trip out west, we averaged $3,339 a month, being super frugal, controlling our costs, making sure we were maximizing our money.
Yeah.
Florida, we went on full-on vacation mode, and it cost us $3,561 a month. So $200 more a month.
Yeah.
And we were not responsible about cost. We just parked where we wanted to park. We were choosing all these resorts and RV parks with pools and all these amenities. We went to...
What was our adventure cost?
Oh, our adventure cost went up. So it's $436.
Yeah.
Now you gotta think. We went to Legoland, we went to SeaWorld, we did all kinds of things that were super expensive.
Very touristy attractions.
Yes. So that's the thing, is it can be what you want it to be.
Yes.
Now, could you do this in Florida, the way we lived out west? Absolutely.
Yes. And I'll also say, I think you could also probably triple the numbers for your RV parks in Florida if you keep going south, or you want to pay those extreme prices.
Yeah,
but we were very frugal in what we picked when we were there.
Yeah, when we say...
Because it was during snowbird season, so they were all there.
Like when we say we stayed where we wanted within reason.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to stay at Fort Wilderness.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to give them, all of our money.
Especially when our kids aren't old enough to enjoy the park or enjoy the amenities yet. We want to save that.
Now, I will say, when we got to Utah last year, we paid $71 a night for this one park, and I was like, man, this is expensive. When I got to Florida, that was like the cheapest we ever paid. Right.
Florida felt super expensive.
It's only better because we got discounts. That's why it's only $41 a month, because we did stay at some places longer to bring the cost down. Right. But that place in Orlando, and then Beverly Beach, $115 a night. Right. But then our next place was like $30 a night. So we had to compensate. We had to,
Exactly,
plan.
Yeah.
So that's our budget in a nutshell.
Yep.
It's not very good, but we showed you the difference. Frugal versus free spending. It's only $200 a month difference.
So now, here's what I think.
And diesel, if diesel was the same price, Florida would have been cheaper than Utah, or in all the out west stuff.
On our first one out west, did we include the times when we had to pay for electricity for being there longer than a month?
Yeah,
we
that's
did.
included.
Okay,
yeah.
it's all included. Oh, okay.
There was only one place in New Mexico. They
Yeah.
charged us electricity for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And I mean,
it wasn't much.
No, it was.
That one was?
Yeah.
Oh.
When we wanted to wash our laundry, we unplugged and turned our generator on, and they got mad about that because we were running our generator.
We were like the only people in the park.
The gasoline was cheaper than the electricity.
Yeah.
Like I did the math. Like I had a spreadsheet, and I was like, it's cheaper to just pay for gasoline than it is to run the washer and dryer.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what I think, what we've talked about, that if you guys want to see it, our next trip out is going to be kind of a mix of out west.
Here, how about you talk to them?
Okay, hi. I'm not very good at turning the camera around anymore. So our next trip out is kind of a mix between being out west and being in a super touristy place like Florida. So we're going to have some places that are kind of touristy, and then other places where it's a little more about the scenery instead of the attraction or the theme park or whatever. So if you want, we will keep it, well, we're going to keep track anyway, but we'll share it with you if you want to see what this budget ends up being. So with higher gas cost, I feel like RV parks have gone up a little bit. Because we thought,
I can tell you right now, Tennessee is making Florida feel cheap.
Yeah, we thought Florida was expensive, and then we got to Tennessee and we're like, wow, okay, they're proud. So we hope it's worth it, but we definitely try to keep, if we say our number is $50 a night, we really try and stick to that. We know there's times we'll go up, there's times we'll go down, but the average is 50. So pick a number, whatever that number is for you. It doesn't matter, just whatever works within your budget, and know that you can always pay more, or you might can save and then spend a little more on those adventures.
Also, we should lead with the fact that when we're not adventuring, when we come to our home base, we are able to control costs that really change the average of the year big time.
Right, because we're not adventuring much.
The RV park we're staying at now comes out to like $12 a night.
Yeah.
So if we, like right now, this year's going to be great because we're going to have 3 months of that. So we could go crazy for 3 months and it would be an average year.
Right, and they can charge us electricity because we're there longer than a month, but we're not in the RV, so we're not actually using things. So,
yeah, even with electricity, it's still super cheap.
It doesn't come out to much. So if you want to see the numbers once we get done with this next trip out, please put it in the comments so that we know that we should keep track of it for you.
Also, we keep track of it because it's just the adult thing to do.
Yeah, we like to know because it changes so much from trip to trip.
I was surprised because I actually this morning I wrote all these down. I was like, Florida's going to make me so heartbroken when I actually put the numbers on.
Right. Well, and I think too it's good to know because like when we were out west, we didn't start filming right away. So like when we were in Utah and all those places, we weren't filming yet. So if we ever want to go back to those places, we kind of can look back at our notes and say, okay, here's what it cost and here's what we should budget, so that we know if we can do that trip for that amount of time. So
anyway, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that loud exhaust going by. By the way, the reason we're in the truck is because our kids are sleeping and this is the only quiet place we have right now. It's the super secret YouTube confession booth, I guess.
Yes, and we have grandparents on sleeping baby duty. So we decided to come out to the truck so we could film this for you guys so that you'd have some information. Hope you enjoyed it.
So anyway, let us know if you have any great ideas for those states we mentioned.
Oh yeah, please.
And we'll see y'all out there.
Bye.